It is in love that religion exists and not in ceremony. In the pure and sincere love in the heart, unless a man is pure in body and mind, his coming into a temple and worshipping Shiva is useless. The prayers of those that are pure in mind and body will be answered by Shiva, and those that are impure and yet try to teach religion to others will fail in the end. External worship is only a symbol of internal worship, but internal worship and purity are the real things. Without them, external worship would be of no avail. Therefore, you must all try to remember this. People have become so degraded in this Kali Yuga that they think they can do anything and then they can go to a holy place and their sins will be forgiven. If a man goes with an impure mind into a temple, he adds to the sins that he had already and goes home a worse man than when he left it. Tirtha, or place of pilgrimage, is a place which is full of holy things and holy men. But if holy people live in a certain place and if there is no temple there, even that is a Tirtha. If unholy people live in a place where there may be 100 temples, the Tirtha has vanished from that place. And it is most difficult to live in a Tirtha, for if sin is committed in any ordinary place, it can easily be removed, but sin committed in a Tirtha cannot be removed. This is the gist of all worship, to be pure and to do good to others. He who sees Shiva in the poor, in the weak, and in the diseased really worships Shiva. And if he sees Shiva only in the image, his worship is but preliminary. He who has served and helped one poor man, seeing Shiva in him, without thinking of his caste or creed or race or anything, with him Shiva is more pleased than with the man who sees him only in temples. A rich man had a garden and two gardeners. One of these gardeners was very lazy and did not work. But when the owner came to the garden, the lazy man would get up and fold his arms and say, "How beautiful is the face of my master," and dance before him. The other gardener would not talk much but would work hard and produce all sorts of fruits and vegetables which he would carry on his head to his master, who lived a long way off. Of these two gardeners, which would be the more beloved of his master? Shiva is that master, and this world is his garden. And there are two sorts of gardeners here: the one who is lazy, hypocritical, and does nothing, only talking about Shiva's beautiful eyes and nose and other features, and the other who is taking care of Shiva's children, all those that are poor and weak, all animals and all his creation. Which of these would be the more beloved of Shiva? Certainly he that serves his children. He who wants to serve the father must serve the children first. He who wants to serve Shiva must serve his children, must serve all creatures in this world first. It is said in the Shastra that those who serve the servants of God are the greatest servants. So you will bear this in mind. Let me tell you again that you must be pure and help anyone who comes to you as much as lies in your power. And this is good karma. By the power of this, the heart becomes pure, chitta shuddhi. And then Shiva, who is residing in everyone, will become manifest. He is always in the heart of everyone. If there is dirt and dust on a mirror, we cannot see our image. So, ignorance and wickedness are the dirt and dust that are on the mirror of our hearts. Selfishness is the chief sin, thinking of ourselves first. He who thinks, I will eat first, I will have more money than others, and I will possess everything. He who thinks, I will get to heaven before others, I will get mukti before others, is the selfish man. The unselfish man says, I will be last. I do not care to go to heaven. I will even go to the hell if by doing so I can help my brothers. This unselfishness is the test of religion. He who has more of this unselfishness is more spiritual and nearer to Shiva. Whether he is learned or ignorant, he is nearer to Shiva than anybody else, whether he knows it or not. And if a man is selfish, even though he has visited all the temples, seen all the places of pilgrimage, and painted himself like a leopard, he is still farther off from Shiva. Yes, Maharaj.
I think everything is clear here. I don't think anything is there to discuss here, isn't it? It is very simple lecture.
Yes, so if you have any in between inputs to give.
Om Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Dear devotees, it is one of the small lecture, but very powerful lecture. And of course, here there is not much philosophies as such included like in a few other lectures. But if you see very closely, you see the fearlessness of Swami Vivekananda, which we can understand here. Swami Vivekananda has gone to the one of the oldest, biggest temple, which is Rameswaram Shiva temple. And in the temple, he's saying, just doing worship, just physical worship, whatever we use, the ritualistic worship is preliminary in nature. And he's telling the truth. He's not undermining the role of preliminary worship or the physical worship or external worship. He's saying it is good, but much more than that. If we can serve the Lord in living beings, that is the real worship. So Swami Vivekananda always says, the message of the Upanishads is what? Abhi, fearlessness. Because of that fearlessness, he could speak the truth in front of others. Now, sometimes the experience, there will be experience for us also. We tell truth. We want to be fearless. We want to be fearless. Swamiji has said that. We try to tell the truth and we get beatings or we get problems. And then we start thinking whether Swamiji told, should we follow it or not. So many, this type of discussions, this type of thinkings, it comes. Now, when Swamiji says it happens and when we say it doesn't happen, why? Because Swamiji is following it literally. And we say, but we don't follow it. That is the reason when Swami Vivekananda says such things in the temple, people did accept. They didn't add any other feelings or ill feelings, or there was no noise. Say, for example, if some of us, we go to any historical temple and we say, oh, real worship is, this worship is all external worship, is preliminary worship. The real worship is seva, you serve the people. Then they may ask us to get out, or they may put us out. But when Swamiji said they accepted, when I said truth, why people are not accepting? Because here only the role of personality comes. Yeah. Now, Swamiji is telling beautifully. Before that, probably, I would like to tell what is this root meaning of this puja actually. Puja is the very common word across the India we use, across all vernacular languages. This puja is generally simple meaning of puja is honor, to respect, to worship, to pay homage, or adoration. All these things come from adoration, like a puj from the dhatu. And interestingly, some of the scholars bring because for everything we try to find the source in the Vedas. So for this puja also, the scholars have tried to find the source. In the Rig Veda, 8.17, I think, there's a 12th verse. Shachi pujanayam. Shachi pujanayam. There's one word in the 12th verse. Means it is actually praising the Indra, basically. The meaning is nothing but the praising the Indra there. So from there, the word puja has been taken. Now, interestingly, in the Shiva Purana, there is also a discussion about this. So for them, according to the Shiva Purana, pu and jayate. Pu and jayate. These are the two combination of these two dhatus or two words. This puja has come. Pu means what? Achievement of fruits of enjoyment, according to the Shiva Purana. Achievement of fruits of enjoyment. Karma phala, achieving karma phala basically. And jayate means something to be born. Jayate, something to be born. So karma phala, we all know achievement to be, that is what pu, jayate means something to be born. By doing an act, some good karma phala which will be born, which will be produced. Anyhow, this is what one of the little background regarding the word called puja. Now, in the puja, three things are there at broad canvas. One is, first and foremost, is devotion, bhakti. Now, what is bhakti? Narada beautifully discusses in Narada Bhakti Sutra, Parama Prema Swarupa. Supreme love. What is bhakti? Bhakti is from the nature, supreme love. Like, I love my father, I love my mother, wife or husband, children, friends. Here, prema is there. Prema and moha is there. That's why we suffer. Prema and moha both are mixed there. That's why we suffer. That's why that moha, because of the moha, attachment is there. From prema, you don't get attachment. From moha, we get attachment. So we should love the people and we should not get attached when we say. That's where people get confused. Swamiji, how can you say this? Or what do you mean by this? You say we should love people and you should not get attached. Love and attachment, how it can go? How it cannot go? This is what the question comes for many of us. So we should love people, no doubt. We should not be attached. Now, why this attachment is coming? Because of the delusion, moha. Now, when I love my mother or father, their prema is there, plus moha also is there. Generally, that's what it happens with all the family people, relatives, friends and all. Okay, that's where the demand, so many things comes. Now, though it is not right, but just for understanding sake, I'm telling this, when this prema has been turned towards God, when this love turn towards God, it becomes bhakti. And to differentiate from the ordinary love to the godly love, the Narada is using the parama, the prefix, as to distinguish between the earthly love and the godly love. So what is devotion or what is bhakti? Parama prema swarupa. It is of the nature of supreme love. Now, how can I show that I am loving God? Now I say, oh, my dearest, my chosen deity, Sri Ramakrishna is my heart and soul. He is my alpha and omega of my life. He is everything. When I say, how can I establish or how can I get convinced myself I am loving Thakur really? How? By remembering him, by praying to him, by trying to meditate on him, by trying to do japa, and by trying to follow his words to the letter. This is called nishtha. Every day without fail, as much as possible, I am trying to remember him. I am trying to recall his teachings. Not only recall, and I am trying to follow his teachings as much as possible. This is how we can show or we can get convinced ourselves, yes, I am loving Sri Ramakrishna. Or I am progressing towards Sri Ramakrishna. Yesterday itself, I was telling with one or two devotees. Maybe this can be a bit motivational for you also, all the devotees. He's a young man who was of my age. When I joined in the Bangalore Alsur Ashrama, he also wanted to join. And he was pursuing his graduation. After graduation, he wanted to join, but I think just he finished graduation or before finishing the graduation, unfortunately, his father died. His father passed away in Bangalore. Father passed away, his only son, and he had a younger sister. And as a result, he postponed at least the idea of joining. He postponed because just he has to look into the family now. And poor man, just he finished his graduation and immediately he got into the job and he started working. Maybe because of losing the husband or the whatever may be the reason, unfortunately, his mother got paralytic stroke and she got bedridden. Father passed away, mother got bedridden. So much so that he has to, take her to bathroom. He has to carry her. He has to bathe her. He has to dress her and feed her. And many times, even everything will be on the bed. He has to clean everything. He has to do. For 12 years, he did that. And meanwhile, he earned the money. He was earning, and he saw that younger sister, finished graduation, LLB. She finished, and she also became the judge of a court. And finally, he didn't have any other way. He had to continue his family life, and he also entered Grosthashram. Now, this is one part. We all feel sorry for him. We may all feel sorry. We may all feel, sympathy on him. It should not have happened. This all, he did 12 years of seva for mother, not a single day, probably thinking that, oh my God, what is my prarabdha? I have to do all these things. He never thought like that. He very sincerely he did. Apart from that, he's also initiated. He used to do good japa. And afterwards, slowly, then he also married. He has got daughter. Now he's got his own small business. Somehow he's struggling to exist, struggling to manage. His financial condition is not very good, but so, whatever it may be. In spite of that, he gets up at every day, 3 or 4 a.m. Until 7 to 8 a.m., he does japa anushtana. Guru Maharaj mantra japa he does, and tutelary deity devata Guru Devata puja he does, and few other japa meditation. Morning 3 to 8 more or less he does, and evening 6 if not 7. By 7 to 10 every day without miss he does his sandhyavandana and japa meditation. And he has got quite a few good visions of different deities and chosen deity or whatnot. And 2 days before, he called me and he was telling, Maharaj, I had a doubt and I want to discuss with you. What is that? A monk or a person who was very exalted in the spiritual practice, he came and he blessed me with one mantra, Devi mantra. So just I wanted to discuss with you, and he discussed with the mantra. Then with my knowledge, I said, yes, that type of mantra is there on Mother Devi. We all discussed, and then what to do, he asked. Then whatever suggestions or guidance I'm supposed to give, I gave, and he's trying to follow now. Now here, the point is, he's an householder, just maybe he's of 40 years of age, and morning 3 to 8, 5 hours, and evening 7 to 10, 3 hours, 8 hours, or at least 6 hours every day, he's spending his time in japa meditation. Means 1/4 of the day, being a grihastha, being an householder, is able to spend his time in japa and meditation. Now, don't think that tomorrow itself, today onwards, I'm asking all of you to do this. What I wish to say is sincerity, nishtha. That's what I'm saying. Whether you become monk or whether you are a householder, that should not matter actually. But what should matter is what? Can I love Sri Ramakrishna? And how that love can be shown? See, nishtha. Now, because he had to take care of his mother, and he had to take care of the family, he had to take care of a daughter, and all other things which any householder has duties, all duties he has got. But still, in spite of that, he's able to do 6 to 8 hours of japa meditation. How is it possible? Of course, very few people can do this, no doubt, but it's nishtha. So he has holded Thakur firmly, and he knows that this only can save my life. So whatever his mundane activities, responsibilities is there, taking care of the family and household works, he is doing it. But in spite of that, he is able to do. Now, some of us, because our family commitments and other commitments, we may not be able to do, no doubt. But in the given circumstances, we should ask ourselves, we should question ourselves, are we doing, are we using our time in a good way or in a right way? Interestingly, once in a while he calls me, and I have scolded him also, because he says, Maharaj, I have got 2-3 days leave, or I have got 2-3 days break. Can you suggest some ashram, or can you speak with some ashram and arrange so that I would like to go? He's not again going for sightseeing. He wants to go and sit, and he wants to do 1 lakh japa in 3 days, 4 days. I said, see, someday you ask me very emergency, I can speak with Daksha Swamijis and I can request them and I can arrange. But every time you can't do this. 1 or 2 days before you can't phone me and ask. Better at least a week or 2 or 3 before you ask me, then it is easy for me. Then he says, Maharaj, because of my workload and business, sometimes it is not possible. I understand. Anyhow, you try. He says. Now again, that 2-3 days leave is there. He is not going to roam anywhere. He wants to go and sit one place and do japa for 3 days, 1 lakh japa, extra japa he wants to do, and he wants to do spiritually charged. The spiritual hunger, or the vakulata, or the spiritual hunger, how much is that? So this can be the great lesson, inspiring lesson for all of us, including me. I'm saying that how we can spend our time in solitude. And as Sri Ramakrishna says in Gospel, when you are sincere, you should start praying to God, please reduce my work. And God reduces your work when you are sincere. Or he creates the situation. He creates the conducive atmosphere to practice our spiritual life, either from family members or from the external environment or internal environment. When someone says, Swamiji, I'm praying, but I'm not getting. That means the intensity is not enough. Or the sincerity. I'm not saying that there's no sincerity, there's no intensity, but probably some more intensity, some more sincerity is required. Anyhow. Now, it is in the love that religion exists and not in ceremony. This is what the love we mean. So he's loving God. He wants to love God more and more. That's why he's able to spend so much time in japa, meditation, or in the, worship. And not in ceremony. So every puja, that's how it started. It has got first component is what? Bhakti. Bhakti is what? Love. So that is the most essential part of the puja. And the second is what? Mantras. These mantras, hymns are totally different. Like there are stotras, which we call. Stotras are composed by some saints or the poets or the great people. These are the hymns. Now the mantras it is a revelatory. It is like sacred formulas or mantras are revealed for the rishis. So mantras and hymns are also part of the puja. And the third will be rituals. These rituals are the abstract concept, which like philosophy, sarvam kalvidam brahma, etc. we speak, or God exists everywhere, or I would like to love God. All these ideas, concepts has given the physical form, in the form of action, that has been expressed in the form of action, is nothing but rituals or ceremonies. For example, if you have seen the pujas in our ashramas only, we give Om Aimetat Padyam Sarvadeva Devi Surupaya Sri Ramakrishna Namaha. Padya we say. It is in Sanskrit, most of the time we don't understand. Padya means what? Before that we have invited Sri Ramakrishna. After inviting him, in the olden days, when any seniors comes, we used to wash their feet. Even in Bengal, I've seen, even South India also I've seen, when especially monks and very senior people, they come, we wash their feet and we welcome. So here also, we are welcoming Sri Ramakrishna by washing his feet. Padya means what? Washing his feet. Now, Argya. Argya is, literally, you can't say that, but still we can compare somewhat like bouquet. We give a flower bouquet and we welcome him. So we are giving a Argya sata. Though it is not right, but we are welcoming him. Then afterwards, we are giving water to rinse his mouth. We are giving oil in the special days, we give oil. Other days, just we bathe him. Then we apply sandal paste, then we offer flowers, fruits, incense sticks, all these things. So when a guest comes, how do you welcome him and how do you treat him? Just in the same way, we are treating Sri Ramakrishna also in the form of worship, in the form of ceremonies or rituals. So we are trying to worship God, just like humanistic way, how we welcome the guests and we do it. Similar way we are doing, that's what the rituals. The love has been shown in here. The love, respect, reverence, all these things are shown in the part of ceremonies, rituals. But unfortunately, sometimes the ceremonies, rituals takes a higher lead. It becomes so important, our bhakti goes away, or our bhakti may get diminished. So that's what Swami Vivekananda is saying, that the love is what very important part of the worship or the religion, so not in the ceremony. So because Swamiji is saying not in the ceremony, should we not follow the ceremony or rituals? No, he doesn't mean that. But the importance or the stress should be given to the love, in the pure and sincere love in the heart. Unless a man is pure in body and mind, his coming into a temple and worshipping Shiva is useless. Now, these are the statements, few statements which often misquoted. So I'm just telling, unless a man is pure in body and mind, he's coming into a temple worshipping Shiva is useless. So I'm not pure, I shall not go to temple. So is that because until otherwise I become pure, body physically and mentally. Physically pure, okay, we can understand, we're taking bath and all. But mentally I'm not pure, I know that. Then because Swamiji has said that without becoming mentally pure, I will not go to any temple. Should we understand in that way? No. So here we have to understand in this way that when we go to temple, we should be careful about physical cleanliness. We should bathe and go. And apart from that, as much as possible, at least with clean clothes and all, clean clothes and bathing, etc., as much as possible. And apart from that, mental purity is required. When I go to temple, with what attitude I am going, with what thoughts I am going, is very important. I mean, I don't know in the Bengal, at least in southern part of India, so I've seen, because we have got very huge temples. People, they go and they say, darshan ho gaya. They see the deity and the arati is done. Then they take the arati. If interested, they may pay some donations, pay something in the offering box, and they come out. Because there's a huge temple complex, there's a lot of place to sit. They sit, and if coconut is there or bananas are there, they will break that and they will start eating it, and they will start discussing all the worldly affairs. Whole world news has been discussed. Or otherwise, we'll be discussing about people, we'll be discussing about things, we'll be discussing about family. And today's, because of mobiles, we'll be calling and we'll be talking with people. So this is what we should not supposed to do. When we go to temple, with all purity of mind, as much as possible, we should be pure, and we should, with pure thoughts, we should go to the temple, worship the Lord, and meditate, do japa, or do worship, or do prayer, singing, whatever. After that, you should come back. We should not do this worldly talk. In the name of socialization, especially in the West, it is becoming a very great problem for many of us, many of the ashramas. They come to worship, no doubt. After the worship, they start talking all nonsense. All like, how are you? How is your father, mother, children, marriage, all, or any other thing they will be talking. Why? Because socialization has become the part and parcel of life. We are all social animals, social beings. So we come to worship, and afterwards we talk all nonsense. So that should be avoided. And the prayers of those that are pure in mind and body will be answered by Shiva. And those that are impure and yet try to teach religion to others will fail in that. Now, many times we pray and our answers, our prayers are not answered. For that, Swamiji is giving very clear answer here. The prayers of those that are pure in mind and body will be answered by Shiva. I asked something. I requested him something to fulfill, but it didn't happen. Why? Because we are not pure in nature. Then what should I do? We keep on praying and doing japa, meditation, sankalpas, vratas, all these things. When we show time and again, then at some point of time, God gets pleased by our prayers, by our sincerity. He fulfills our prayers or fulfills our wishes. But when is a pure mind, when a pure-minded person, whatever he asks, whatever he seeks, everything is done. Same thing we can see in the life of Ramakrishna, life of Swami Vivekananda, life of all the direct disciples. Whatever they thought, whatever they sought, everything was provided by the cosmic power or by the Lord. And if without being pure, if you try to teach religion or whatever, you will be failing. Why so many gurus come into picture, and why so many ashramas and so many cults comes into effect? In no time, many, they come and they go away. Why? Because the purity is lagging there, or the unselfishness is lagging the most of the people. And Swamiji is telling external worship is only a symbol of internal worship. So Manasika Puja, this Manasa Puja, we all know that. When we get mantra dikshas, when we get initiation, how to do this Manasa Puja, internal worship has been taught by our gurus. So that is the best worship, no doubt. And that is the external form, that is the, what do you say, projection, or it is only, that the same thing has been, when we use it using the external articles, that is what external worship. So internal worship is much superior, external worship is comparatively inferior. But purity is must for everything. And without purity and without love, no worship is useful. That means we may do worship, we may get some punya, no doubt, but whatever is expected, we may not be able to get. I did so many things, but I didn't get desired results. Why? Because either the lack of sincerity, lack of purity, lack of devotion, all of them. Then without that, then should I not worship? Should I not try to worship? Yes, you can do it. So by trying to worship, you are becoming pure, and with consciously by achieving more and attaining or achieving more and more purity, your worship quality of your worship also gets benefited. So mutually they are helpful. That we have to understand. And Swamiji is telling one more important point. We have degraded so much. We do all type of sins, and we cheat people, we tell lies, and we cheat people. I don't mean all of you, but in general, I'm saying. So we cheat people, and afterwards we say, oh, 10,000 people, 10,000 rupees. If I go and take and put in some temple, then all my sins are nullified. No. For example, I cheated people, and I got 1 lakh rupees, and 10,000 rupees I am going and putting in the hundi offering box. Then my sins have been nullified? No. Then this 10,000 rupees I donated to the God, it goes of waste? No. Your sins has not been nullified. For that you have to face the consequences, but you have got some punya also. Because you have donated for some noble cause, or you donated to the temple, or you donated to some charity, or some to the noble cause, from that you will get some punya. That is what punya means, what good luck. And Sri Ramakrishna tells beautifully, I think in the very funny way. When you go to Ganga, and because Ganga is a Brahmavari, as Sri Ramakrishna says, Ganga is a Brahmavari. So when you take a bath in that, when you take a dip, then you get punya actually. Then what happens to your Papa Purusha? Papa Purusha will be sitting on the tree or on the building or on the pavement or whatever. Then you finish your bath, and when you come and you will start all talking worldly talk or worldly thoughts and etc. Then the Papa Purusha says, okay, that's the time. There's a right instrument for me, right medium, and again he comes in. When on the lighter side, Sri Ramakrishna says this. So when we go to temples, when we get all these things, when we get a holy bath and all, but afterwards our conduct, if it is not to the extent possible right, then what happens? Again, all these things will creep in. So we have to be careful about it. Now, Swamiji is telling, when you go to temple with pure mind, you should go as much as possible. Why? If you do a sin, sin means here do any wrong thing, basically. If you do any wrong thing in your house or in the working place, you get some effects of it, papa karma. Papa, you get it. But the same thing if you do in any religious place or in the tirtha or in the pilgrimage place, then you don't have the amount of karma phala, the papa karma phala you are getting, it is few times more, maybe 10 times, 20 times, 30 times more. They will be in a great problem. So you have to be very careful. So one is, with pure mind, we should go to any tirtha kshetra, temple or any holy place pilgrimage. And if you do any wrong things there, then the amount of karma phala, papa karma phala, what you get, it is very intense. It is very difficult to wash it. So be careful about it. Now, if you remember, if you have read Master Mahashaya's life in deep, how he used to go to Dakshineshwar, how he used to go to Kamarpukur is a sight to see. Or it is a nice to read and think about it. When he used to go to Kamarpukur, even when Sri Ramakrishna was there itself, he went to Kamarpukur. When he entered Kamarpukur, that doesn't mean that we should also do physically, but mentally we can think of these things. When Master Mahasaya entered Kamarpukur, he got down from the cart and he was rotating on the mud. Why? Because Sri Ramakrishna, Avatara Purusha, Avatara Varishta, Sri Ramakrishna has taken this taken birth on this holy land. So every dust, every particle, every dust of this Kamarpukur is holy. So he is rotating on the muddy road, and that mud is, he is putting the mud on him, showing that because it is every part of this Kamarpukur is so holy. It looks very extreme, or it is too emotional. We may feel it, no doubt. But the love, the reverence to Sri Ramakrishna was so intense, and for him, Sri Ramakrishna was such real. And when he goes to Dakshineshwar, I think one of the monk, I am not able to remember his name now. So he tells in his reminiscences, oh, going to Dakshineshwar with Master Masha is something different actually. Why? Because every nook and corner, every tile of the Dakshineshwar, every square meter of the Dakshineshwar, he goes and he says, oh, when I was here, Sri Ramakrishna was here, and Sri Ramakrishna told this, or this particular incident happened. He scolded someone, or he praised someone, he blessed someone. So every small piece, every square meter of the Dakshineshwar temple complex has got something to say for Master Masha. So one day is not enough to visit Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna is no more now. Physically is no more. But still, in the Dakshineshwar for Master Masha, Sri Ramakrishna was there. Every part. It is just a tile, or it is a brick, or it is a gate, or whatever we see. But for him, it was such a holy. Every part was associated with Sri Ramakrishna. So when we go to pilgrimages, we should try to understand. We should try to know the history about it. At least Sthala Mahatma, we say, we should try to know, read, understand, and we have to prepare our mind. Then we should go there. Then what happens? Then we can get much spiritual benefit for our life, either spiritual benefit, emotional benefit from the pilgrimage place. So just one example which is coming to my mind now. 2-3 devotees. Swami Raghunathanji Maharaj, my Gurudev, he was in Hyderabad those times. He was vice president that time, I think. So 2 or 3 devotees, old devotees, were coming from the Hyderabad to Jairambati as a part of pilgrimage to visit and staying 3 days. They wanted to stay 3 days. Or if they wanted to go, Maharaj said, simply go and make a dashing visit. So try to stay there 2-3 days. They said, yes, Maharaj, no problem, we can stay. And Maharaj said, don't think that, because his style of talking is there. Don't think that there is simply is an imagination that mother's image is there, mother's marble image is there and all. No, mother is there. Go and see, you will be able to see her. Very emphatically he has told that. They all accepted. They all respected it. Yes, Maharaj, thank you and all. They sought his blessings and they came. So 2 days over, one lady, they're able to spend some time in a good amount of meditation, japa, attending prayer and all they are doing. One lady, after 2 days, late night, or maybe early morning or midnight, she got up and she started thinking. Maharaj said, mother is there here. It is true. It is not just imagination. Try to see her, he said, but 2 days over, we didn't see. So she felt very bad about it. She became emotive and she started crying also, tears rolling down on her cheeks. Then she cried. She started doing japa. Then she thought, anyhow, I will go and sit near Mother Temple. And she came out, and with that prayerful mood, she doing japa probably, she came near the temple. Either she was about to sit near the temple, or she was already sitting, we don't know. After some time, there was some sound when she turns towards her right. If you have seen Jairambati, you can imagine, there's a main gate. From main gate, you will enter. Now there's a bookstall, and you go little front. There's a temple, isn't it? From the main gate towards temple, I'm saying, that road was being sweeping by an old lady. And devotee started, what? At this late night, midnight, who is there sweeping here? Then she started, first probably she might also got a bit annoyed or frightened or whatever. Then slowly, she went and saw Holy Mother is sweeping the floor. And Holy Mother said, it seems, yes, because there are some stones or pebbles and all. When my children come, they may get hurt. So I am trying to remove them. You see, Mother is saying that my children, when they come, they may get hurt. I am trying to remove. Whether physically she was removing or not, there's a different thing here. But she had a vision of Holy Mother. So because Maharaj had said she had prepared her mind, she went that she got the vision. Again, it all depends on so many things, no doubt. But how we have to prepare our mind when we go to such pilgrimage places. So when we prepare our mind and go, then the feeling the presence of the Lord, presence of the Mother, or spiritual experiences and spiritual benefits, we can be more. That is what Swamiji is telling. And he's also telling, what is this Tirtha pilgrimage? Wherever there are holy place, holy people are there, that is what Tirtha. Whether there's a temple or not, whether there is a worship is going on or not, whether there is any murti, any idol or not, never mind. That can be Tirtha, where holy people are there. If not, holy people are not there, but there is a temple and all, it is a mere ritualistic worship. There will be power, no doubt, but the manifestation of the divinity may be less because of the lack of the real devotees, of the lack of the holy people. And why we have to do worship? Because to develop the love. And the same thing has been told in a different way by Swamiji, to be pure and to do good to others. So this purity has been emphasized by Swamiji very much. Without purity, you cannot achieve anything. And again, Swamiji is saying that external worship is there, no doubt. That worship has to be, extended. It has to be broadened. How? How can I broaden my worship? He says, he who sees Shiva in the poor, in the weak, in the deceased, really worship Shiva. That's what all our karma yoga or seva yoga, which we are doing by Ramakrishna mission activities, when you know all of you. So what is it? This is what the Shiva Gnane Jiva Seva. This is our philosophy. And if you see Shiva only in the image, his worshipping is but preliminary. Just you are trying to see Shiva in the only Shivalinga or in the Murti and not in anywhere or not in any people, that is very preliminary. Is not denying them, is not negating them. Yes, it is very preliminary. So if you are able to progress in your spiritual life, then what happens? The same Shiva you'll be able to see, you'll be able to experience in every being, in everything. And also he says that Shiva is pleased, will be pleased if you can worship or if you can serve everyone, irrespective of caste, creed, or religion, or status, or whatever, then you'll be more pleased. For that, he gives a wonderful story, a wonderful analysis also. Two people, one is simply, he is praising the owner. Oh, owner, you are so great, so nice, blah, blah, and all, but he's not doing any work and he's lazy person. Other person is not praising our thing, he's doing sincerely his work. Now, the owner on whom he will be pleased, he knows that this fellow is a lazy fellow, is simply pleasing me, but is not doing work. But other fellow is keeping quiet, is not arrogant. This is also very important. Is not arrogant. At the same time, neither is arrogant, nor he is coming and praising me, but he is just caring about his work and is sincere. So when I'm sincere and if I'm arrogant, I'm sincere, I don't care anyone. No, that is also not right. I'm sincere and at the same time I should not be arrogant. I should be loving and I should be soft-natured person also. So such person who is really working, he will be liked by the owner. So similarly, simply just worshipping the Lord by pouring water and by praising, singing hymns and all, that's fine. But who does real karma yoga, seva yoga, Lord is pleased by such people. Swami Vivekananda says. And again, he is telling you, you must be pure and help anyone who comes to you as much as lies in your power. Now, all karma yoga will not be karma yoga. Why? Because he's telling you must be pure and help anyone who comes to you as much as lies in your power. If whatever is possible, you can do. Someone is coming and asking you 10,000 rupees. You want to give, but you are not able to give. So you are able to give probably 200 or 500 rupees. That is at the right now. That's what your financial capacity or provision. That's okay. You not to think about it. Whatever is possible, you can give, and you can say that this is what I can do it. But what attitude? Worshipful attitude, and we have to be with pure. So this purity has to be achieved. This is the bedrock, either for the worship or for karma yoga or for gnana yoga, for everything. The purity. Achieving the purity is what important. And when we do karma yoga, this purity is also attained. With purity, you can do karma yoga. By doing karma yoga, you will attain purity. That is called chitta shuddhi in the karma yoga language. And the more and more chitta shuddhi you have got, then the ignorance is removed, then the dirt is removed, then the instinctive thinking is been reduced, then reactions are reduced, responses will be there. selfishness will be reduced. This is what the test that our mind is getting purified, we are going towards God or towards going to the world. These are the few tests. And Swamiji says that selfishness is the chief sin. This is the root of all the problems. I. All the great wars, great battles have happened because of this selfishness. That's what Swamiji is saying. Unselfishness is God. Unselfishness is more paying, but people don't have patience to practice. And the unselfish man says always, I will be lost and I don't care to go to heaven, mukti or whatever. But the selfish man says that he cares of himself. If you remember even Ramanuja's story, he was got Shadakshari mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This mantra has been, he got by his guru, and he said, Guru, that you should not tell anyone. If you tell, and especially the sinners who doesn't believe in all of them, you may go to hell. So better not. But by this mantra japa, you will go to heaven or Vaikunta. After he paid his respects, he went to the temple Gopuram, temple tower, and he started saying that I've got the best mantra. By chanting, all of you will go to heaven, Vaikunta. Please come and listen. And he told the mantra. Then he was summoned and he was asked, why do you do this sin, etc. When he was asked, he said, I don't care whether I go to Vaikunta or hell, but if people can get benefit from this, if people can get liberate from this, then that is most essential, that is most required. I don't bother about it. So that loka sangraha, unselfishness is very important. By this type of things, sometimes some of our volunteers also get inspired. And after initiation, they come out and they start shouting that, okay, hey, listen to this mantra, you will get benefited and all. So that we should not do such a nonsense activities. That was very naturally out of compassion, unselfishness it came. So we should not imitate great people. We should only follow them. So we should not imitate them. That's why Thakur used to say and Swamiji used to say, whatever I say, do. Whatever I do, you don't do. Because so we can't just imitate them. We should follow them. Yeah. And unselfish man is near to Shiva, and selfish man is farther to Shiva. So whether you do so much worship, so much rituals, so much ceremonies, so many yaga, yagnas, and all you are doing it, but you are selfish, you are far from Shiva. But someone who is not doing anything, but still is unselfish, then he is nearer to Shiva. That's what Swamiji is saying. And he's giving the gist of the real worship is, what? Trying to see Shiva in everyone, in everywhere, everything, and trying to worship him. Trying to lead a pure life, trying to lead a unselfishness life. That's what the essence of the real worship. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Pranamastu.
Maharaj, you have made this simple lecture excellent. Thank you.
No, at least I have not complicated it. If not so, that's it.
No. Means even if it seems so simple and all, but you made it more attractive.
Mm-hmm. So any questions you have got? That's it.
I have two different questions in mind, not regarding this. One is, I was hearing your that Leela Prasanga, that different types of samadhi and all. So if you can explain that here, that different types of samadhi with more example and more elaboration, because that is good, but that is a bit fast. Means everything is not very clear.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Yes, you are right. So in the Leela Prasanga, because in one day Maharaj, Malavika was also telling, why were you on Coromandel Express? I said, because I had to discuss the Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Sri Ramakrishna, then For that, I had to give you a background. Then in the 45 minutes, I had to finish it. So half an hour I gave a background, and 15 minutes I discussed Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Thakur. She was saying that, Maharaj, you could have taken one more lecture. What is there? There's no hurry. We were not in urgent to finish it up. Anyhow. So, but two lectures are available, my Sunday lectures. Sundays also I take, as you know. In Sunday, Ashtanga Yoga I take. There, 1 week, I have discussed in Savikalpa Samadhi, that is Sampragnata Samadhi, in detail, step by step. After her talk, then I understood it becomes too difficult for devotees. Then I've gone very step by step, slowly, for a Sunday talk, Sampragnata Samadhi. Next Sunday, then Asampragnata Samadhi alone, just I have taken. And Sampragnata Samadhi, I went bit deep. Asampragnata Samadhi, I didn't go deep bit. Only surface level I discussed, because it can be a bit difficult for common people. I understood, but I have made discussions. The two lectures, if you can hear, you'll get all clear. You will get a more or less, you'll get a clarity, I believe. After hearing, if you've got doubts, yes, you are welcome. I will explain, so that my work will reduce. That's all.
Okay. But means that Sampragyata Samadhi means Savikalpa Samadhi.
Yes.
And
Sampragnata
Asampragyata
Samadhi, Savikalpa Samadhi, and Sabija Savikalpa Samadhi. Sabija Samadhi. All these three things are more or less synonyms. And Asampragnata Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Nirbija Samadhi is what more or less synonyms. And in Sampragnata Samadhi, there are 4 types.
Yes, that
Savitarka, Nirvitarka, Savichara, Nirvichara. Then Sananda, Sasmita. Sananda and Sasmita, there are no types.
but means that how that mind is slowly going to the higher stage with these divisions that
Yes,
you have.
if you remember, if you can understand, if you can remember that my thought process there, so you can understand that in Savitarka, what happens? You taken an object, maybe Sri Ramakrishna's form, maybe a Shiva, or even a flower, or maybe a table, any object, basically a physical object. You take and you try to concentrate. Now imagine, now when we are speaking of Sampragna Samadhi, by this time already Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyara over, Dharana and Dhyana also over. Pratyara is your withdrawal of the mind, sense organs, and Dharana you are trying to fix your mind on a particular object, which we say Dhyana, but we are trying to do Dharana actually. Dharana. In Dhyana already a single thought is coming. Single thought, multiple thoughts with the same pratyaya object is coming. So now we have achieved already dhyana state. So there will be only one thought or multiple thoughts of the same object. One thought rises and reduces and subsides, and again rises and subsides. Like that happens in dhyana. That the continuation of dhyana is happening now. That we should keep it in mind. So in the Savitarka, what happens? You are trying to concentrate on an object. Yes, because already by dhyana you have mastered, you'll be able to concentrate. Concentration is achieved. So you'll be, when you are concentrating, then your gnatha, the experiencer, the object of experience, and the act, these three is aware. Your mind is, you are meditating on, say, for example, rose flower. You are trying to concentrate on rose flower, and you are able to concentrate on rose flower. Only rose flower thought is going on in your mind, the thought or pratyaya or vritti. So only rose flower is there, but you are conscious, you are aware that you are meditating on the rose flower and you are able to meditate. The Savitarka, when it goes to Nirvitarka, then the object shines. The object shines, and the experience of I, act, and other things gets diminished there. The more and more, the object becomes very real for us. Okay, then when it goes to Nirvitarka, Savichara, then you are trying to concentrate on concepts, or trying to concentrate on tanmatras, for example. They give you example of tanmatras. Now, Shabda tanmatra. Shabda means sound. We say, oh, I'm hearing, you are hearing my sound. Not that. Shabda tanmatra is by which the akasha, the space has come out. Subtle element, you can say, or atom, you can say. Just to make you a bit clarity, you are trying to meditate on an atom, or basically on the subtle matter. You are trying to meditate on the in the Savichara Samadhi. You will be meditating. There also meditation, and on the object of meditation you will be aware. Then when it goes to Nirvichara, there the object shines. Then Sananda, you are trying to be aware of that Ananda which is the nature, or which is the part of the quality of the Purusha. In the Sasmita is it is very a subtle ego. It is subtle ego. A thin layer of ego will be there, which is called from Mahat. The next evolute is what Asmita it is called. So you need to have little what do you say technical background for that. What is called Asmita. So having the notion of individuality, just I am individual. I that notion of individual. Just I am aware of that individuality, nothing else. That is what called Sasmita. Now, when it comes to Nirvitarka Samadhi, now there's only single thought here, and that single thought also has been suppressed. So, no thought, no thought, no thought, no mind. Then what happens? Purusha Prakriti, Veda Gnana. Purusha and Prakriti are different. That Gnana, that knowledge creeps in. That is what Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Asampragnat Samadhi.
That last part goes out.
Like,
Sorry?
if you have understood, please let her explain me. Chandrani Didi, I am asking you. If you have understood, because I have not understood anything.
প্রণন্দা এরকম সার্টিফিকেট দিয়ে দিলেন আমাকে।
না, আমি বলছি যে আমি কি বুঝেছি আগে বলছি, ঠিক আছে? ঠিক বুঝেছি কি ভুল বুঝেছি আগে বলবেন। হ্যাঁ, স্ববিতর্ক আর নির্বিতর্ক, স্ববিতর্ক এটা ফার্স্ট। তো স্ববিতর্কতে মানে আমি গোলাপ ফুল দেখছি, তো আই অ্যাম অ্যাওয়্যার দ্যাট আই অ্যাম সিইং দ্য রোজ। তো রোজ থট ইজ অলসো দেয়ার অ্যান্ড আই অ্যাম অবজার্ভিং দ্য রোজ, দ্যাট ইজ অলসো দেয়ার, রাইট?
Yes.
And when it goes that I am only I am looking at the rose, and that sakshi bhavna is not there, so that is nirvitarko. That rose concept is only chief there, right? Nirvitarko, sabitarko and nirvitarko. Sabitarko means I am there and I am observing the rose, and
Savitarka.
I am there and rose is there. So I am observing the rose. So nirvitarka means only the rose thought is there, but I am observing that thought is not there. Right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. Or rather, we can say that the object becomes real there.
Yes. So the object, the whole concentration is on the object, so not on the observer. Right?
Yeah.
And so this is totally separate than this shabija and nirvija. Means when we are considering the tanmatras, not that this rose concept is going to the tanmatra. Means hearing that lecture, I thought that thing thought is purified like that, or becoming thinner
Yes,
and thinner.
it is an advancement. See, you can see. I can say like this: in the Savitarka, you are trying to meditate on gross object.
Yes. So
and in Savichara, it is on a subtle object.
Okay, then that means if I
that means
consider
your mind is getting progressed. Your mind is getting progressed. When you are meditating on the gross object, you achieve. Now you are trying to meditate on subtle object, you are able to achieve. If I ask you now itself, you try to meditate on Tanmatra, the atom, it will be difficult for you.
Yes. So that means if we take that rose example itself, okay. So in Sabitarka we are considering the rose, but when we are going to Sabichara, then instead of rose we are considering the Rupa, the Tanmatra.
Not Rupa even, atom. Rupa Tanmatra you can say.
Yeah, means that Rupa Tanmatra means which is the from which is the thinner form or finer form of that gross rose,
or from the subtle particle, or from the subtle matter from which this
rose has come.
What do you say? The rose is made of.
Okay, so that means
one of the component of the rose. Of course.
So that means that Sabitarka finer than Sabitarka is Sabichara.
Yeah.
And finer than Sabichara is
Sananda.
Sananda. So they are
It's Ananda because there is only happiness.
only
You are,
happiness.
you are trying to be meditating and are trying to be aware of Ananda only. Here, no even object is there. Here. Object of meditation itself is Ananda.
Okay, and then
Sasmita.
Sasmita, that is that Ananda is also not there, but still that thinner.
Individuality.
So that
No,
thin.
it's the notion of individuality.
Hmm.
The awareness of individuality. Just I'm putting in a very simple term so that you can make out something. So Sasmita is like aware of individuality.
So from Sananda, how we are going to that Sasmita?
By practicing.
No. Means concept wise. Means
Concept wise is, see, Ananda comparatively you can feel, yes. You can understand, you can comprehend is much easier. But when you say the notion of individuality, try to understand, try to comprehend, it becomes much subtler. It is not that easy to comprehend even, isn't it? Which is more subtle there actually.
but if I cannot comprehend, then how I can?
Then you are not achieved that state. Then better you be in the Sananda only.
No. So if I have no comprehension of that individually, then how can I say that there is that individuality?
Yes, you don't know, that doesn't mean that it is not there. But the people who have experienced, they have told.
So that
They have recorded also.
that individuality is even higher than that Ananda.
Yes.
So there is my
See,
question.
why
How?
this question is coming for you, you know, because you are mixing with the Ananda of the bliss, Ananda of the Sachidananda. That's where this question is creeping in your mind, coming in. Here, Ananda, here, the Purusha plus mind is there still here.
Yes.
When we say Sachidananda, Ananda is only pure Ananda only.
So this Ananda means the Ananda that, okay, I got it. Means that individually, that Jivatma or whoever who is experiencing that the Ananda is also there in that.
So Ananda itself as an object of meditation there.
And before and higher than that no feeling is there, but still that some individuality is still there. That is Sasmita.
Yeah. The notion of individuality. You have to do some homework.
No,
You have to think and
no,
2-3 times read.
This line I got, but then that nirvitarko, nirvijo, from there how we are getting, and it is not leading directly to nirvikalpa, that I am not getting. And Maharaj, so actually yesterday when we were reading Leela Prasanga, this concept came that the means from Savikalpa stage, when the sadhak is reached to that Savikalpa stage, that then already his mind is purified or in a higher state. So from there it is easier to go to the Nirvikalpa. Even in Bhakti Marga, that iti neti, that part there is there.
Iti neti is not Bhakti Marga, it is Jnana Marga.
No. Neti is Jnana Marga, and then they said that iti means from there means in Sadhak Bhav what is given is the Jnanamargi people, they know that what is the highest thing, and they are aware from the beginning, and they go on this is not neti margo. And Bhakti margo, they are starting from a lower level, and then they are going higher and higher, and ultimately both are reaching to the same nirvikalpa state. So
no, this is you are saying, or you are saying that Sharat Maharaj is telling like this?
Sharat Maharaj is telling like this. Can I read that part?
No, but you left the pranams, what do you say, question. Now, whatever you understood, you tell me, he said, but you are asking questions now.
No. I am asking whether my understanding is correct.
Okay.
I am not asking.
First part you told, yes, now you understood, but this iti neti, what Sharat Maharaj just told, I am not able to recall now. I have to see, and then only I can say yes or no.
No,
From what angle and what he has discussed, I have to see. Then only I can say yes. What you are saying, your understanding is right or wrong.
That 1-2 line I can read. Then you can.
Yeah.
So just.
But what about others? They will think everything is going above the head.
No, this we were discussing.
আমাদের ক্লাসে পড়া হচ্ছে
হ্যাঁ ক্লাসে পড়া হচ্ছে কিছু বুঝতে পারিনি ক্লাসে কালকের পড়া দাঁড়ান
Maharaj, meanwhile, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
See, Maharaj, জ্ঞান পথে যেটা আর কি জ্ঞান মার্গ যেটাকে বলে সেটাতে এই নীতি করে আমরা এগোচ্ছি বাই রিজনিং এন্ড থিঙ্কিং এন্ড উই আর জাস্ট থিঙ্কিং এন্ড বিচার অ্যানালিসিস এন্ড ট্রাইং টু ব্রিং ক্ল্যারিটি তো এইটা করতে করতে তো আলটিমেটলি ইউ লিড টু যোগা এন্ড মেডিটেশন সো তো এর সঙ্গে যোগার সঙ্গে মানে হোয়াট ইজ দ্য ডিফারেন্স বিটুইন জ্ঞান ভক্তি যোগ আর সেবা তো এই যোগ আর মানে জ্ঞানের মধ্যে তফাৎটা কোথায় আসছে কারণ জ্ঞান থেকে আমি আলটিমেটলি আই এম রিচিং দ্য যোগা মানে দিস থিং সো দিস ইজ মাই কোয়েশ্চন
No. That's where I always say that when you are reading any yogas, please don't keep on comparing with other yogas. And what happens? Kichidi pachadi chachadi will happen. So when you are studying any ism, any philosophy or any school of philosophy or any ism or any yoga, you should just stick to that and you should try to understand what it is saying. Immediately we say, oh, Thakur ne bolechen, oh, Swamiji erokom bolechen, Ramaji erokom bolechen, Madhva erokom bolechen. We keep comparing and we mix up and we jumble up things. This is what the mistake many of us they do. So that's the reason I tell very clearly, when you are reading Shankara, be Shankarite and just understand what it is. Whether you accept it or not, whether right or wrong, that's different issue. After judgment, we will do afterwards. But just try to understand as it is. Now, when it comes to Gnana Yoga, it is a path. For that, first and foremost, you have to do Sadhanaya Chatushtaya Sampannata. The 4 prerequisites. That is the basic qualification. What is that? First is Nitya Vastu Viveka. Discrimination between ephemeral things and eternal things always. Vichara. Then the second is Shamadam. This is Iha Mutra Palabogadi Viraga. I don't want any enjoyment, pleasurable things, either in this world or above worlds. Now, above worlds, you may not belong to Swarga, you may say Disneyland or USA or Australia, you can think of that. So, any basically sense pleasures I don't need. So, complete dispassion, detachment. And the third is Shamadamadi Shatka Sampatti, 6 pleasures or 6 disciplines. And the fourth is Mumukshatva, Moktu Micha Mumukshatva, intense desire for liberation. When these 4 is attained, then you are fit to study Vedanta. Actually, we are not even fit to study Vedanta actually. Because we have not achieved all this. We have got some point, that's why we have come to Vedanta, but we have not got completely. Anyhow. So, when you get these 4 achieved, then when you start listening to Upanishad, then when you are hearing them, when you hear the Uttama Sadhakas, who are well established in Sadhana Sampannata, when they hear Tattvamasi, then you will say, yes, Ahamasmi Brahma. Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. Uddalaka said for his son, Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. 9 times he said. Under the 9th time when he said, Shvetaketu understood, yes, he experienced that Ahamasmi Brahma. Yes, I am the Brahma. Now, in our case, 900 times, 9,000 times we hear, we don't understand, we don't experience. Why? Sadhana Chatush Sampannata is not achieved. Then what is the way? Trying to achieve this Sadhana Chatush Sampannata and trying to read Upanishads or all these things and trying to understand who am I. So who am I? Try to understand. There 2 paths are there. One is Iti Iti, the other is Neti Neti. Neti Neti, I am not this body. I am not this world. I am not the mobile. I am not the house. I am not the gold. Because we are all obsessed with that, isn't it? So I am not the house. I am not the table. I am not the iPhone. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. I am not the thoughts. Why? Because all of them are materialistic in nature, ephemeral in nature. They are not, eternal. All these things given reason. Then when you are trying to negate everyone, what is not, when it comes to self, you will not say whether it is or it is not. You will experience. This is one path. The other path is Iti Iti. Whenever mind thinks about anything, he says that I am that Brahman. The Brahman is which is eternal in nature, which is a subject, which is not an object, and which is a pure awareness or consciousness, which is not any an object of things. So soham, soham, soham. Soham means what? Saha aham. I am that, I am that. So these are the two paths which practiced, like Vedantic meditation, you can say, by which we can try to experience the self. By thinking time and again, what is happening? You are trying to make your mind proper. Our Swami Vivekananda's beautiful saying is that we are dehypnotizing our mind. We have hypnotized that I am body, I am mind, I am so and so, son of so and so, I did so and so and all. We have been hypnotized wrongly. Then by doing Atma Vichara, we are dehypnotizing. So then what happens? Then Amasmi Brahma. I am that Brahman. I will experience. That state of experience is what called either it can be said Nirvikalpa Samadhi or it is a Jivan Mukti Vivek. There basically Brahmakara Vritti happens and the technical things will not go. So basically you will experience. You may know intellectually, your thought or your understanding becomes the fact of experience. This is what Jnana Yoga happens. So you have to be clear about it.
Maharaj, the process, niti niti or iti iti, whatever it may be, but the process when I'm going through, I require concentration, and that concentration leads to meditation. This is what I'm trying to say.
Concentration leads to meditation. Concentration is the base tool by which you will be able to meditate.
Yes.
All concentration is not meditation.
So,
for example,
musician
musician is with concentration is singing. Is he meditating? No.
No. That I appreciate your point. What I'm trying to differentiate it from the yoga path. This
Why
is
you
what
want to do all that? That's what I'm saying. Please do not do these things.
Oh, achha,
You
okay.
will get confused.
Okay.
Until other way, you have got a clarity about these philosophies or the paths properly. If you try to compare, try to contrast, you will get jumbled up.
Yeah, I'm bit clear about what you said. I'm bit clear. I was
I'm
just
not asking you to be
mentally. I'll
clear.
try
I have to
to.
be asked to be more clear.
Yes.
No, see, out of concern, I'm telling you. I can discuss with you. I can allow you to discuss and all, but what happens? It gets jumbled.
Okay.
We mix up and we get jumbled up and we get confused. Actually, we'll not have clarities.
Okay.
So that is the reason for few days, at least for few time, once you get concepts clear, till the concepts get much clarity, till then we should not keep on mixing up things. When you are reading Dana, when you read Dana, try to understand Dana Patha. When you go, trying to read Bhakti Yoga, try to read, understand, and try to read and understand Bhakti Yoga what it is. When you are trying to read Yoga or Yoga, Patanjali Yoga, you try to understand it is what it is. So Gnana has told something like this. Here it is similar. Or you are trying to draw parallel things. You may get confused.
No, Maharaj, it is not intentional. It comes automatically.
You should stop it.
This comparison comes automatically to the mind. It's not that.
Don't encourage it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. You are supposed to be caretaker of your thoughts, your thinking, isn't it? So don't encourage it.
Okay.
Don't encourage it. Otherwise, you will get jumbled up. That's what
No, I think I got a good advice today. So it's a different level of thinking. Okay, fine.
Maharaj, so if you have time, shall I read this thing? পুরোটা পড়ছি, হ্যাঁ। ইতি, এই যেটা বললাম, ইতি ইতি পথে নির্বিকল্প সমাধি লাভের বিবরণ। রূপের ধ্যান, ইতি ইতি পথে নির্বিকল্প সমাধি লাভের বিবরণ। রূপের ধ্যানে তন্ময় হইয়া কেমন করিয়া জগতের অস্তিত্ব ভুলিয়া নির্বিকল্প অবস্থায় পৌঁছিতে পারা যায়, এইবার আমরা তাহার অনুশীলন করিব। বেঙ্গলি ইজ ওকে মহারাজ? পূর্বে বলিয়াছি, ভক্ত ঈশ্বরের কোনো এক রূপকে নিজ ইষ্ট বলিয়া পরিগ্রহ করিয়া তাহারই চিন্তা ও ধ্যান করিতে থাকেন। প্রথম প্রথম ধ্যান করিবার কালে তিনি ওই ইষ্টমূর্তির সর্বাবয়ব সম্পূর্ণ ছবি মানস নয়নের সম্মুখে আনিতে পারেন না। কখনো উহার হস্ত, কখনো পদ এবং কখনো বা মুখখানি মাত্র তাহার সম্মুখে উপস্থিত হয়। উহাও আবার দর্শন মাত্রেই যেন লয় হইয়া যায়, সম্মুখে স্থিরভাবে অবস্থান করে না। অভ্যাসের ফলে ধ্যান গভীর হইলে ওই মূর্তির সর্বাবয়ব সম্পূর্ণ ছবি মানসচক্ষের সম্মুখে সময়ে সময়ে উপস্থিত হয়। ধ্যান ক্রমে গভীরতর হইলে ওই ছবি যতক্ষণ না মন চঞ্চল হয় ততক্ষণ স্থিরভাবে সম্মুখে অবস্থান করে। পরে ধ্যানের গভীরতার তারতম্যে ওই মূর্তির চলাফেরা, হাসা, কথা কওয়া এবং চরমে উহার স্পর্শ পর্যন্ত ভক্তের উপলব্ধি হয়। তখন ওই মূর্তিকে সর্বপ্রকারে জীবন্ত বলিয়া দেখিতে পাওয়া যায় এবং ভক্ত চক্ষু মুদ্রিত বা উন্মিলিত করিয়া ধ্যান করুন না কেন, ওই মূর্তির ওই প্রকার চেষ্টাদি সমভাবে প্রত্যক্ষ করিয়া থাকেন। পরে আমার ইষ্টই ইচ্ছামতো নানা রূপ ধারণ করিয়াছেন, এই বিশ্বাসের ফলে ভক্ত সাধক আপন ইষ্টমূর্তি হইতে নানাবিধ দিব্যরূপ সকলের সন্দর্শন লাভ করেন। ঠাকুর বলিতেন, যে ব্যক্তি একটি রূপ ওই প্রকার জীবন্তভাবে দর্শন করিয়াছে, তাহার অন্য সব রূপের দর্শন সহজেই আসিয়া উপস্থিত হয়। ইতঃপূর্বে যে সকল কথা বলা হইল, তাহা হইতে একটি বিষয় আমরা বুঝিতে পারি। ঐরূপ জীবন্ত মূর্তি সকলের দর্শন লাভ যাহার ভাগ্যে উপস্থিত হয়, তাহার নিকট জাগ্রত কালে দৃষ্ট পদার্থ সকলের ন্যায় ধ্যানকালে দৃষ্ট ভাব রাজ্যগত ওই সকল মূর্তির সমান অস্তিত্ব অনুভব হইতে থাকে। ঐরূপে বাহ্য জগৎ ও ভাবরাজ্যের সমানাস্তিত্ব বোধ যত বৃদ্ধি পাইতে থাকে, ততই তাহার মনে বাহ্য জগৎটাকে মনঃকল্পিত বলিয়া ধারণা হইতে থাকে। আবার গভীর ধ্যানকালে ভাবরাজ্যের অনুভব ভক্তের মনে এত প্রবল হইয়া ওঠে যে সেই সময়ের জন্য তাহার বাহ্য জগতের অনুভব ঈষণ মাত্রও থাকে না। ভক্তের ওই অবস্থাকেই শাস্ত্র নির্বিকল্প সমাধি নামে নির্দেশ করিয়াছেন। ওই প্রকার সমাধিকালে মানসিক শক্তি প্রভাবে ভক্তের মনে বাহ্য জগতের বিলয় হইলেও ভাবরাজ্যের বিলয় হয় না। জগতে দৃষ্ট বস্তু ও ব্যক্তি সকলের সহিত ব্যবহার করিয়া আমরা নিত্য যেরূপ সুখ দুঃখাদির অনুভব করিয়া থাকি, আপন ইষ্টমূর্তির সহিত ব্যবহারে ভক্ত তখন ঠিক তদ্রূপ অনুভব করিতে থাকেন। কেবলমাত্র ইষ্টমূর্তিকে আশ্রয় করিয়াই তাহার মনে তখন যত কিছু সংকল্প বিকল্পের উদয় হইতে থাকে। এক বিষয়কে মুখ্যরূপে অবলম্বন করিয়া ভক্তের মনে ওই সময়ে বৃত্তি পরম্পরার উদয় হওয়ার জন্য শাস্ত্র তাহার ওই অবস্থাকে স্ববিকল্পক বা বিকল্প সংযুক্ত সমাধি বলিয়াছেন। এইরূপে ভাবরাজ্যের অন্তর্গত বিষয় বিশেষের চিন্তায় ভক্তের মনে স্থূল বাহ্য জগতের এবং এক ভাবের প্রাবল্যে অন্য ভাব সকলের বিলয় সাধিত হয়। যে ভক্ত সাধক এত দূর অগ্রসর হইতে সমর্থ হইয়াছেন, সমাধির নির্বিকল্প ভূমি লাভ তাহার নিকট অধিক দূরবর্তী নহে। জগতের বহুকালাভ্যস্ত অস্তিত্ব জ্ঞান যিনি এতদূর দূরীকরণে সক্ষম হইয়াছেন, তাহার মন যে সমধিক শক্তি সম্পন্ন ও দৃঢ় সংকল্প হইয়াছে, একথা বলিতে হইবে না। মনকে এককালে নির্বিকল্প করিতে পারিলে ঈশ্বর সম্ভোগ অধিক ভিন্ন অল্প হয় না, একথা একবার ধারণা হইলেই তাহার সমগ্র মন ওই দিকে সোৎসাহে ধাবিত হয় এবং শ্রী গুরু ও ঈশ্বর কৃপায় তিনি অচিরে ভাবরাজ্যের চরম ভূমিতে আরোহণ করিয়া অদ্বৈত জ্ঞানে অবস্থান পূর্বক চির শান্তির অধিকারী হন। অথবা বলা যাইতে পারে, প্রগাঢ় ইষ্টপ্রেমী তাহাকে ওই ভূমি দেখাইয়া দেয় এবং ব্রজ গোপিকাগণের ন্যায় উহার প্রেরণায় তিনি আপন ইষ্টের সহিত তখন একাত্মানুভব করেন।
সো কি প্রশ্ন এখানে?
প্রশ্নটা হচ্ছে তার মানে সবিকল্প সমাধি যেটা বলছে সেখানে শুধুমাত্র এই যে আপনি বললেন যে একটাই মানে ইষ্ট মূর্তিকে ঘিরে তার সম্বন্ধে তার হাঁটা চলা, মানে all the thoughts are towards one single point, maybe more than one thought, যে আমার ইষ্ট হাঁটছেন চলছেন খাটছেন কিন্তু ইষ্ট,
Yes.
মানে ইষ্ট ছাড়া অন্য কোনো থট নেই। তা সেই যেহেতু ইষ্টর থটটা আছে সেই জন্য সেটাকে সবিকল্প সমাধি বলা হচ্ছে, যে সেখানে একটা কোনো তাই এখানে তাই বলেছেন কেবলমাত্র ইষ্টমূর্তিকে আশ্রয় করিয়াই তাহার মনে তখন যত কিছু সংকল্প বিকল্পের উদয় হইতে থাকে। এক বিষয়কে
কিন্তু দেখুন এটা মানে এটা ভাবমুখের কথাগুলো যখন জিজ্ঞাসা মানে চর্চা করেছি মানে লাস্ট বাট ওয়ান ক্লাসের মধ্যে লীলা প্রসঙ্গে আমি এসব বলেছি, মানে এটা মানে ঠাকুরের আর শরৎ মহারাজের একটা বিশেষ অনুভূতি আর বিশেষ কন্ট্রিবিউশন বলতে গেলে ভক্তি ভাবতে কিভাবে আমরা সমাধি হতে পারি, এটা কিভাবে হতে পারে বলে এটা বলেছেন বলে আমি এসব চর্চা করেছি। আমি যদি আপনি ঠিকভাবে শুনেছেন যে মানে সবিকল্প নির্বিকল্প সমাধি করার আগে ক্লাসে আমি এসব ডিসকাস করেছি, ভাবটাকে কিভাবে সমাধি হয় এটা আমি ডিসকাস করেছি ওখানে বলছি।
হ্যাঁ, ওখানে আপনি ওই ডাইরেক্ট ডিসাইপলসদের এক্সাম্পল নিয়ে বলেছেন যে কে কোন পথে চলে কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি নির্বিকল্প সমাধিতে পৌঁছে।
ওটা অনেক আগে, ওটা ছাড়া বলছে এই সবিকল্প সমাধি ঠাকুরের নির্বিকল্প সমাধির ক্লাস যে ডিসকাস করলাম ওর আগে ক্লাসের মধ্যেই ডিসকাস করেছি ভাব নিয়ে, ঠাকুরের ভাব এগুলো নিয়ে ভাবটাকে কিভাবে সমাধি হয় বলে এসব ডিসকাস করেছি। So for this you'll get more explanation or better explanation in the bhavmukha আর গুরু ঠাকুরের গুরু ভাবে আসেন তো ও সময় এসব ডিসকাস করেছেন শরৎ মহারাজ।
হ্যাঁ,
ভাবটাকে একটা ভাব নিয়ে কি করে সমাধি হবে বলে।
হ্যাঁ, তো আপনি যেটা আমার কথা হচ্ছে যে
So here one more thing is the classical Advaita Vedanta's Nirvikalpa Samadhi and the classical yoga philosophy of Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, whatever they say, the process and the things. Here it is not same.
Yes.
So this is from Bhakti school they are speaking.
হ্যাঁ, তো সেইটাই আমি বলছি যে আমার যেটা এটা পড়ে আমার যেটা মনে হয়েছে নির্বিকল্প মানে হচ্ছে যে তার কোনো it has no other deviation.
No, I have to read a little because why this Sharat Maharaj, why he has brought this discussion, what is the background I have to understand. I have to read that. I'm not able to recall now.
সাধক ও সাধনা কি পথ আছে সেখানে
সাধনা ঠিক আছে কি বলতে চাইছেন এখানে শরৎ মার যেটা আমি বুঝতে হবে তো। আচ্ছা, what is their intention, why is he discussing? সাধক ভাবের মধ্যে ডিসকাস করছে ঠিক আছে বটে, কিন্তু কেন ডিসকাস করছেন, এটা কি প্রুভ করতে চান আর কি ঠাকুরের ভাব কি বলতে চান, এর জন্য কেন এটা উঠেছে, এটা এগুলো বুঝলে তো পুরো একটা কম্প্রিহেনসিভ পিকচার আসবে আমাকে, আমি বলতে পারি মানে ডিসিসিভলি হ্যাঁ এটা ঠিক নাই, এটা এর জন্য ওটা শরৎ মহারাজ বলেছেন, এসব আমি ঠিকভাবে বলতে পারি। আচ্ছা, না এই আউট অফ দ্য কনটেক্সট এটা খালি এটা নিয়ে আমি বলতে পারবো না বলছি, আই উইল নট বি এবল টু ডু জাস্টিফিকেশন। আচ্ছা, না মানে আমার এইখানটা পড়ে যেটা মনে হয়েছিল এই যে বলেছেন যে সবিকল্প সমাধিতে যিনি শুধুমাত্র একটা বিষয় চিন্তা করছেন তার মনটা সেইখানে মানে সেইখানে অতটাই হায়ার স্টেজে উঠে গেছে, সুতরাং তার যদি এখন মনে হয় যে এই যে বলেছেন যে জগতের বহুকালাভ্যস্ত অস্তিত্ব জ্ঞান যিনি এতদূর দূরীকরণে সক্ষম হইয়াছেন তাহার মন যে সমধিক শক্তি সম্পন্ন দৃঢ় সংকল্প হইয়াছে এ কথা বলিতে হইবে না। তার মানে অলরেডি তার মেন্টাল পাওয়ারটা হয়েছে, তো মনকে এককালে নির্বিকল্প করিতে পারিলে ঈশ্বর সম্ভোগ অধিক ভিন্ন অল্প হয় না এ কথা একবার ধারণা হইলে তাহার সমগ্র মন ওই দিকে সোৎসাহে ধাবিত হয়। তো মানে আমরা যেটা কালকে ডিসকাস করেছি সেটা হচ্ছে মানে আমরা যেটা অ্যানালজি করার চেষ্টা করেছি সেটা হচ্ছে
মীরাবাইয়ের কথা।
হ্যাঁ,
যেটা আমরা
মীরাবাইয়ের কথা।
বলুন।
তো আমাদের মনে হয়েছে যে মীরাবাইয়ের যেমন কৃষ্ণ ছাড়া অন্য কোনো চিন্তা ছিল না, কিন্তু তারপরেও তার মনে হয়েছে যে যখন মনে হয়েছে যে কৃষ্ণ আলাদা এবং উনি আলাদা, তখন কোথাও একটা দুজনের মধ্যে একটা ভেদ থেকে গেছে। তো ওনার মনে হয়েছে যে যেখানেই একটা ডিফারেন্স আছে সেখানেই আই ক্যান গেট ক্লোজার অ্যান্ড ক্লোজার টু দ্যাট if there is a difference. তো সেই জন্যে সুতরাং এইভাবে যেতে যেতে উনি এই যে লাস্টে গিয়ে উনি যে কৃষ্ণের সঙ্গে মার্জ হয়ে গেছেন, সেই অবস্থাটাকে নির্বিকল্প বলেছে এখানে, সেটাই তো বলেছে।
আচ্ছা, সাধক ভাবে কোন চ্যাপ্টার আপনি বলছেন?
এটা হচ্ছে প্রথম অধ্যায়, সাধক ও সাধনা।
সাধক ও সাধনা, ঠিক আছে। আর কত প্যারাগ্রাফ আছে?
16, পেজ নাম্বার 16 এর যেটা মিডলে যে প্যারাগ্রাফ, এই রূপে ভাবরাজ্যের অন্তর্গত বিষয় বিশেষের চিন্তায়।
16 মানে প্রথম চ্যাপ্টারে ইংলিশে 16 তো নাই, 13 এন্ড হয়ে গেছে।
আচ্ছা, যে এন্ড হয়েছে তার এখানে বাংলা বইয়ে লাস্ট বাট ওয়ান প্যারাগ্রাফ।
লাস্ট বাট ওয়ান প্যারাগ্রাফ, 120। How Nirvikalpa Samadhi is attained on the path of this.
Yes. So the last part of that. Last two lines here in Bengali book.
মানে শরৎ মহারাজ বলতে চাইছেন একটা জ্ঞান পথে কিভাবে নির্বিকল্প সমাধি করি, এটা ও আগে ডিসকাস করেছেন। এখন ভক্তি পথে কিভাবে নির্বিকল্প সমাধি অ্যাটেন্ড করি বলে ও চর্চা করছেন।
মানে বিকল্প মানে হচ্ছে অল্টারনেটিভ, তাই তো? নির্বিকল্প মানে অন্য কোনো অল্টারনেটিভ, উইথ নো অল্টারনেটিভ অ্যাট অল। তো ইষ্ট ছাড়া
নো মডিফিকেশন। বিকল্প মানে দেয়ার নো মডিফিকেশন।
হ্যাঁ,
ইট ইজ নট অ্যান অপশন। হিয়ার বিকল্প মিন্স নো মডিফিকেশন।
ওকে, সো যখন আমি ভক্ত আর যতক্ষণ অবধি তুমি ভগবান আমি ভক্ত আছি, ততক্ষণ অবধি একটা মডিফিকেশন আছে বা ডিফারেন্স আছে দুজনের মধ্যে। তো এখানে সেটাই তো বলেছেন যে যখন যদি আমার সেই তুমি আলাদা আমি আলাদা এই বোধটাও যদি আমি আলাদা সরিয়ে দিতে পারি, তাহলে আমার আরো বেশি আনন্দ হবে। কারণ যেই তুমি আমি আলাদা, তখন তার মানে কোথাও একটা আমার আনন্দ যে উপভোগ করছি সেটা একটা বাধা আসছে, কম হতে পারে। যেমনই চোখের পাতা, একটা পলক ফেললেও আমি একটা জিনিস এক মুহূর্তের জন্য আমার দৃশ্য মিস হয়ে যেতে পারে। তো সেই জন্যই বলেছেন যে মনকে এককালে নির্বিকল্প করতে পারিলে ঈশ্বর সম্ভোগ অধিক ভিন্ন অল্প হয় না, এ কথা একবার ধারণা হইলেই তাহার সমগ্র মন ওই দিকে সোৎসাহে ধাবিত হয় এবং শ্রীগুরু ও ঈশ্বর কৃপায় তিনি অচিরে ভাবরাজ্যের চরম ভূমিতে আরোহণ করিয়া অদ্বৈত জ্ঞানে অবস্থানপূর্বক চির শান্তির অধিকারী হন। If there is no difference between me and my God, তো সেটাই বলেছেন যে গোপিকাদের ন্যায় আপন ইষ্টের সঙ্গে একাত্ম অনুভব করেন। আমি গোপিকারা যেমন মনে করতেন যে আমি আর কৃষ্ণ এক, তাহলে কৃষ্ণ আর আমার মধ্যে ভেদ না থাকলে আমার কোনো যে আনন্দটা আমি পাচ্ছি সেই সেন্স অফ ব্লিস, সেটাতেও কোনো মানে সেটা কোনো ডিসকন্টিনিউইটির ব্যাপার থাকে না।
হ্যাঁ, এরকম বলতে পারি। হ্যাঁ, মানে যেমন গোপিকা স্ত্রীকে মানে যে ও আর কৃষ্ণের মধ্যে কোনো পার্থক্য থাকতো না।
হ্যাঁ,
এটা বলতে পারি।
তো সেই অবস্থাটাকে সে মানে সেইভাবে সেইটাকেই বলছেন যে নির্বিকল্প।
That's what it is, I mean, technically, because see, in the problem comes here is in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there is no Rupa at all. Here some Rupa is there, form is there, personality is there. Now, how he is telling, we have to be very careful. Otherwise, simply comparing and contrasting, we get confused. When you tell with other people whoever read Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Vedanta or of Yoga, they will laugh at us. We have to understand, out of faith we may listen to all of them, but technically we have to understand things clearly. That's what I am trying to tell you. In the Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Vedanta, what happens? Your mind goes beyond a name and form. There is a just awareness. In the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there is a just bare awareness, that's all. No name, no form, no Krishna, no Rama, and all. That's what it happens in Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Sri Ramakrishna. He had a problem. What? He was unable to go beyond the name and form of Mother Kali. Then Totapri told, what, is it not possible? And he took a glass piece and he put in the middle of the eyebrow, he pressed and he said, concentrate. And with the help of Gnana Kadga, he demolished or he cut the, the form of Mother Durga or Mother Kali. So that means what? There is no name and form, there is only pure awareness. Now you are saying that you are merging yourself in the God and only God alone is there. But again, God with form, are you saying? If so, then the Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Advaita Vedanta doesn't match here.
No, when I am merged with God, then I am not in a position to differentiate what happens and all.
So whether you are able to differentiate yourself or what is that state called? Now God has got with form or without form. What you say, it is not important. What he is saying, what is being said there, you have to understand.
So what is said there?
Okay, you merge yourself, your individuality gets merged there, fine. But what happens to the God? God is with form or without form there? If you say God has got with form, then definitely the Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Yoga and Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Vedanta is not speaking in those lines. These things, these technicalities we have to understand. So in what context, in what way, or in the what intention Sharat Maharaj is speaking, we have to understand this. Do you understand what I missed to say?
হ্যাঁ, তো সেটাই তো আমাদের প্রশ্ন। তাহলে আপনি সেটা বলে দিন। কারণ এটাকেও নির্বিকল্পই বলছে, এটাকে তো অন্য কিছু বলছে না। কারণ কিছু মানে এর আগে এক জায়গায় ঠাকুর কথামৃততে এটাও বলেছেন না, নিত্য কৃষ্ণ ও তার নিত্য ভক্ত, চিন্ময় শ্যাম, চিন্ময় ধাম। তার মানে সেখানে নিত্য কৃষ্ণ মানে সেখানে ফর্ম থেকেই যাচ্ছে।
That's what I'm saying. We have to be very careful about all these things. Simply, we can't simply we cannot draw conclusions like this. What I understand and what it is there, that we have to be a bit careful about. Out of bhavas, feelings and imaginations, many times we draw conclusions. That's the reason we have to be a bit careful about knowing all these things. That's what I'm not denying that. I'm not deferring what you are saying, that we have to be a bit careful about this. So here Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what I understand in the Sadhaka Sadhana Bhava, Sharat Maharaj is telling that here, first and foremost, when you take the path of devotion, you start meditation. Initially, you are able to meditate on God with form. If say, sometimes God's form is available, I mean, you are able to experience not fully, not partially, sometimes partially, sometimes. Then when you get intensified, your love towards God intensified. যখন আমাদের প্রেম আর ভক্তি ভগবানের প্রতি, ঈশ্বরের প্রতি আর আমাদের ইষ্ট দেবতার প্রতি বেশি হতে থাকে, কি হয়, কোয়ালিটি অফ মেডিটেশন ভালো হতে থাকে। সো হাউ উই দেন বাইরের জগতের মানে স্থিতি না, জগতের যে আছে না কি আছে আমাদের মনে থাকে না এখন। But when your meditation, we are aware of all the things. But when your meditation gets intensified, you are not aware of this world. Why? Your mind is fixed in the God. And slowly, slowly, you will be able to see the form. Fine. Then you are able to see the full form. Then your meditation increases or gets deepened. Then that picture becomes life for you. And you'll be able to talk, you'll be able to probably eat with him, dine with him, or whatever. Okay. Then slowly, slowly, then what happens? At some point of time, this individuality, you are able to see Sri Ramakrishna, but still there is a perception of devotee. There is a notion of your individuality. But there the world is no more for you. Okay. But you and your God alone is there. Then still you continue, even your individuality also ceases to exist. God and God alone exist, and God's will alone exist. That is what Nirvikalpa Samadhi according to Sharat Maharaj.
Yes.
Okay. Now you got your answer or clarity?
হ্যাঁ, মানে
Or what is the now question?
সেটাই তো বললাম যে মানে গড ছাড়া আর কিছুই নেই, মানে only God, even the devotee is also not there because he is merged with God. তো সেই স্টেটটাকেই এখানে ভক্তির বা ইতি মার্গে সেটাকেই নির্বিকল্প সমাধি এখানে বলা হয়েছে।
Iti marga of Bhakti Yoga, not Iti marga of Jnana Yoga.
No, ভক্তি পথে।
Iti marga of Bhakti Yoga, in this particular Sharat Maharaj is telling that Iti marga of Bhakti Yoga, you can do this.
হ্যাঁ, এবং সেটাকেই অদ্বৈত জ্ঞানও বলছেন।
Advaita Gnana is speaking that because in Advaita Gnana, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what happens? You will experience that you are that Brahman. And only Brahman and Brahman alone exists afterwards. The same thing when you experience, you merge yourself in the God, when there is no individuality, then the God and God alone exists, or you will become the fit instrument of God. God alone is working through you also. When you reach there, the notion of Chandrani disappears. Or even when it comes down, which is called Kachami and Pakami, Sri Ramakrishna says that, then Sri Ramakrishna will be working through your body and mind. The name and form of Chandrani exists, but the real Chandrani doesn't exist. The individuality called Chandrani doesn't exist. Only Sri Ramakrishna is will be working through you. Isn't it? That's what happens. Yes, from that point, yes, you can say that
বাট এখানে মানে একটাই ব্যাপার হচ্ছে যে ভক্তি পথে যখন আমি মনে করছি আমি ভগবান, তখন মানে সেটা হচ্ছে সগুণই ব্রহ্ম। আর যখন জ্ঞান পথে বলা হচ্ছে আমি ব্রহ্ম, তখন সেটা নির্গুণ ব্রহ্ম, তাই তো?
But what I understand here is whether that in that Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Bhakti, whether God is Savikalpa, I mean Saguna Nirguna, he has not told. Has he told anywhere Sharat Maharaj?
না, কিন্তু আমার ভগবানকে আমি যখন বলেছি তখন তো তাকে আমি তার তো আমি গুণ ধরেই বলেছি।
যখন আপনার ভগবান যখন বলছেন তো হ্যাঁ সগুণ সাকার থাকবে, যখন আপনি তো মিলন হয়ে গেছেন, সো ও সময় মানে ঠাকুর ও স্বরূপে আছেন, সবিকারে আছেন, নির্বিকারে আছে, তো আমি জানি না। So again, it is you drawing your conclusion there. That's what I am saying you again.
Okay, so not that I am equal to the Ishvara. Maybe that Ishvara itself is the Parabrahman.
No. Again, it's a different topic. No. See, now what I wish to say is, in the Savikalpa Nirvikalpa Samadhi, before attaining, you are getting intensified. Means the presence of the Lord gets intensified. It becomes living for you. Then afterwards, then you will merge yourself in the God. That is what called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sharat Maharaj is telling here. Now, whether God is with form or without form, he has not told here. Now, you are saying that because when I devotee, I am worshipping him, I am merging with him, then he should be with form only. That is your understanding or your question.
No, may not be form, but guna is there, na? আমি যখন আমার ইষ্টকে তো ইষ্টের গুণ আছে, তার রূপ নাও থাকতে।
When you are a sadhaka, there is a duality. When you get merged, there is no duality. Then why do you expect that God should be with form even then? That is, your expectation is different. What is there in the book, you have to try to understand. That's where we get confusions, when we get carried over.
ঠিক আছে, এই পার্টটা আপনি পরের দিন ভালো করে পড়াবেন।
But Maharaj, if I get merged, then who is experienced that he is God? I am so. Who is experiencing that?
that you need not to bother, that God will take care of that.
না মানে আমি
See, when the Ganga gets merged in the Bay of Bengal, what happens to Ganga? Ganga becomes the part and parcel of Bay of Bengal. So there is no
No
Ganga.
identity,
Arey,
no
Ganga
identity, no
what
separate
happens to
identity.
me?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
No
When there is
separate
no I
identity.
individuality, then where is the question of who will experience? God will experience. না আমরা যখন পড়তে থাকি, see, I'm not again judgmental, I'm not using any negative way. We do lot of imaginations, mother, so we should not do that. We should try to avoid them, and we should try to read and understand what they are saying.
না আমি কিছু বলিনি, এখানে যা লেখা আছে তাই পড়ছি। এখানে তো পরিষ্কার লেখা আছে, ব্রজ গোপীগণের ন্যায় উহার প্রেরণায় তিনি আপন ইষ্টের সহিত একাত্ম অনুভব করেন। তো ইষ্ট যখন বলছি, আমাদের ইষ্ট মানে তো তিনি ঈশ্বর, সগুণ ঈশ্বর। তিনি তো পরব্রহ্ম, তো ইষ্ট নন কখনোই। পরব্রহ্মকে কি আমরা ইষ্ট বলি? বলি না। তাহলে এখানে যে বলা হয়েছে তিনি তার মানে ঈশ্বর, সগুণ। নিরাকার হোক, সাকার হোক, যা হোক, আমি সেই প্রশ্নে আসছি না।
আমাদের
আমি একটু ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড দিতে হবে এর জন্য, সব এগুলো একটু ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড দিয়ে ডিসকাস করতে হবে, সবসময় বুঝবেন।
বাট আমাদের ইষ্ট ঠাকুর আমাদের কাছে, সিন্স উই আর ইনিশিয়েটেড ইন দিস রামকৃষ্ণ অর্ডার, আমাদের কাছে ইষ্ট ঠাকুর, এবং ঠাকুরকে আমরা পরম ব্রহ্ম হিসেবেই তো মানি। তুমি ব্রহ্ম রামকৃষ্ণ একটা গানই তো আছে, আমরা গাই না? তুমি ব্রহ্ম রামকৃষ্ণ, তা গাই না?
পরব্রহ্ম পরাশক্তি জগৎ রূপ রাম।
সেই
ঠিক আছে, তার মানে পরব্রহ্ম অবধি পৌঁছতে হবে। ঠিক আছে, আরো দুটো এরকম বেয়ারা প্রশ্ন আছে, করলে সবাই আমায় মারবে, সেই জন্য আজ আর আমি করছি না।
ঠিক আছে,
আমরা সবাই মিলে এখন আয়ারল্যান্ডে পৌঁছতে পারি। That will be a better solution to understand all this.
না, ওই জন্যই তো আমি বললাম মহারাজ আপনার কাছে 2 সপ্তাহ এখন ছুটি আছে, তো এই 2 সপ্তাহ ছুটিতে আপনি এইখানটা একটু পড়ে নিয়ে, তাহলে ওই জন্য বলেছি যে পরের দিন আপনি এইটা একটুখানি রিভিশন করান।
না এখন তো আমার অন্য অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট আছে, এগুলো এর জন্য এখন একটু পড়বো না আমি, আমার অন্য অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট আছে।
2 সপ্তাহ পরে যখন আপনি
করব, যখন ক্লাস হবে ওই সময় পড়ে আসবো, যতটা পারি ঠাকুরের কত কৃপা হোক, আমার মাথার মধ্যে কত আসে, কত বুঝি আমি বলার জন্য চেষ্টা করবো।
কারণ একটা যেটা আছে সেটাও কথামৃতের একটা কথা, তুমি ব্যাপ্য তুমি ব্যাপক, এই ব্যাপ্য আর ব্যাপক মানেটা কি, এটা একটা প্রশ্ন আছে। আর একটা কালকে আমি করেছি ক্লাসে, সেটা বেয়ারা প্রশ্ন, যে আপনি বলেছেন ঋষিরা দে আর নট ইন্টারেস্টেড ইন দ্য সৃষ্টি তত্ত্ব অ্যান্ড অল, দে আর অ্যাকচুয়ালি, মানে ওটা একটা সাব মানে বাই প্রোডাক্ট টাইপের, মেনলি দে আর কনসার্ন অ্যাবাউট নোয়িং হু অ্যাম আই আর হু ইজ পরব্রহ্ম। তাহলে এই যে মৃত্যুর পর কোন লোকে যাচ্ছে, 7টা লোক আছে, সেগুলো কি করে তারা বললেন, এবং সেখানে গেলে পুণ্য ক্ষয় হয়, তারপর আবার এই পৃথিবীতেই ফিরে আসবেন, তার প্রমাণটা কোত্থেকে পাওয়া গেল?
So there's the history of the evolution of the concept you have to understand for all that. History of the evolution of the concept of Vedanta you have to understand for all that.
আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু যাই হোক, মানে কেউ তো আর স্বর্গ থেকে সশরীরে ফিরে আসে
না, যখন প্রথমে বেদেতে দেখলে, যদি প্রথম যারা ছিল ঋষিরা, ওরা তো স্বর্গে যাবার তো ইচ্ছা ছিল, স্বর্গে যাব আর উপরে ওই যে লোকগুলো যাবো, এসবই ছিল। ও গিয়ে এগুলো শেষ করে আসার পরে যে হোক এভলিউশন অফ কনসেপ্ট হওয়ার পরে ওরা বললো ক্ষীণে পুণ্যে মর্ত্য লোকম বিশন্তি, যে ভগবদ্গীতা বলে, যে স্বর্গ যে লোকে যাও পরে তুমি আসতে হবে, ফিরে আসতে হবে, ফিরতে হবে। ঠিক আছে, তবে আবার করো, যজ্ঞগুলো করো, আর অগ্নিহোত্র করো, আর সোমযাগ করো, এসব করো, করে যাবো, আমি করে ফিরে আসবো, যাবো করে যাবো, ফিরে আসবো, তবে কোনো ওটা অন্ত নাই নাকি, এটা প্রশ্ন উঠলো। তবে এটা কিভাবে, এটা আমি একবার এটা করে দিতে পারি, হাউ ক্যান আই এন্ড দিস? ওই সময় বেদান্ত এলো,
না
ও
সেটা
আসার
তো
আগে তো ডিসকাশন ছিল ওদের মধ্যে, প্রশ্নগুলো ছিল, ও প্রশ্নের জন্য ওরা অনেক আবিষ্কার করেছে।
হ্যাঁ সেইটাই, মানে তারা
না,
কেউ তো
এই
আর স্বর্গ
মুহূর্তে যে
থেকে ফিরে
বেদান্তের
আসেনি।
লাস্ট দিকে আপনি আছেন, এটা লাস্ট দিকে যে ওরা ফাইন্ড আউট করেছে, ওরা অন্বেষণ করেছে, এটা নিয়ে আপনি প্রথমের দিকে যে আছে এসব তবে কেন হলো এটা জিজ্ঞাসা করলে এটাই বলে, ভুল বলছি না, এটাই মানে লিমিটেড আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং। সো দিস ইজ এভলিউশন অফ কনসেপ্ট, evolution of understanding has happened in the civilization. Whereas Swamiji tells in beautifully in one of the lectures from Colombo to Almora, Semitic religions, they destroyed all the lower planes. When they understood the higher things of the philosophy, the lower things they destroyed. But whereas in India and Hinduism, Hindu or Vedanta philosophies, we preserved every step so that it can be helpful for someone. So now Vedanta has reached its pinnacle, say, now Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, Brahma attaining Brahman alone is the true and all, whatever, Jivan Mukti Avastha and all. But before that, there were so many discussions happened, so many inventions had happened, all of them has been preserved. So that if people are interested, they can study there, if they're interested to that, they can go and attain. So this
না
is what the evolution has happened.
আমার এভলিউশন নিয়ে প্রশ্ন নেই, আমার বেদান্ত নিয়েও প্রশ্ন নেই। আমার প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে যে ঋষিরা কি 7টা লোক তারা কি ধ্যানের মধ্যে দেখেছেন যে 7টা লোক আছে, এবং তারা কি দেখেছেন সেটাও কি ওনারা ধ্যানেই দেখেছেন যে সেখানে গিয়ে আমাদের কর্ম
ধ্যানও দেখেছেন, কেউ কেউ গেয়ে এসছেন, ঠাকুরের জীবনে তো এসব দেখতে পারি আমরা।
ঠাকুর তো
ঠাকুর গিয়েছিলেন, আর একবার কোকা মহারাজ গেলেন, আর আবেদানজি গিয়েছিলেন, আবেদানজির বৈকুণ্ঠ দর্শনের গল্প আছে, আর কোকা মহারাজের গল্প আছে, আর স্বামীজি মহারাজের জন্মের আগে তো যেভাবে ঠাকুরকে দর্শন হয়েছিলেন সপ্তর্ষি মন্ডলের, ঠাকুরের অনুভূতি আছেন নিজে। আর ঋষিরা ওরা ধ্যানেও দেখেছেন, আর ওরা কেউ কেউ গিয়েছিলেন ওখানে।
আচ্ছা, গিয়ে এবং তারা দেখেছেন যে পুণ্য ফুরিয়ে গেলে আবার ফিরে আসতে হবে, সেটা ওনারা, দ্যাট ইজ অলসো দেয়ার রিয়েলাইজেশন।
অনুভূতি, yes, আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং, এক্সপেরিয়েন্স। সো মহাভারতের মধ্যে অর্জুন যাচ্ছে, অর্জুন স্বর্গলোকে গিয়ে এলো, এসব অনেক আছে। আর দশরথ সূর্যলোকে গিয়ে এসেছিল, এটা রেফারেন্স আছে আমাদের মধ্যে। Now, when you say that the world itself is mithya, then why do you want to speak all these things? Who said you want to speak? Don't speak. Only Brahman is real. Hold on. Then why are we speaking? Because you are interested, that's all. See, when you are clear about it, Brahman alone is real and the world is an appearance or mithya, then there is no question. Whoever speaks all these things, you don't need to bother about it.
Maharaj, exactly this is what I was thinking internally, and you have just expressed it in words.
Yeah, because we are interested to know all these things, that's why they have told, okay, though how much ever I say Jagat is mithya, but still you are interested to know all these things, that's why they have given food for us.
Yes, that's why I am asking, because I am interested to know.
Okay, then you be clear about it. Yes, I am interested to know all these lokas and how do they get information. I am interested, I am trying to know, we shall try to know, that is different.
Yes.
No, we should not mix up and we should not get confused. Jagat is mithya, they has been told by Rishis, then why is all these things? Yes, if you accept it is a mithya, then all these things will not stand for you at all, or it doesn't make any sense for you. See, if someone asks me whether Maharaj, will you go to Ramakrishna Loka after death or not, I say very clearly I don't know, and even whether I go to Ramakrishna Loka or not, I am not bothered even. What I am bothered is only mukti. I should experience Sri Ramakrishna, or I should experience the self, and I should get liberated. That's all I am concerned. Whether there is a Ramakrishna Loka or not, yes or no, maybe, may not be. Yes, it is there because we have heard from senior sadhus. So out of respect and devotion and faith, we accept and we discuss about it. If you ask me personally, are you interested in going Ramakrishna Loka? No, I am not interested. I am interested only. ওটা জানি না আমি, এটা ফিরতে হবে না ফিরতে হবে জানি না আমি, কিন্তু আমি রামকৃষ্ণ লোকে যাবার তো ইচ্ছা নেই আমার। ইচ্ছা নেই মানে উৎসুক নাই বলছি আমি, আমার ইচ্ছা কালিচে মুক্তি আছে। দেন রামকৃষ্ণ লোকের কথাগুলো আপনি বলতে থাকেন, হ্যাঁ ভক্তরা শুনে থাকে, শুনতে চায় এসব, সেই জন্য বলি বাস। সো আমার দিকে মানে ব্যক্তিগত যদি জিজ্ঞাসা করলে আমি তো রামকৃষ্ণ লোকে যাবার কোনো ইয়ে নেই। I'm not degrading, I'm not denouncing it, I'm not telling people that is whoever desiring that they are doing wrong or whatever. I'm not interested in going to Ramakrishna Loka. I want to merge in God. I don't want this pseudo individuality anymore, so that I need to come anytime. That's all I'm clear about. Then why do you discuss about this? Because you know that. Because one is interested and people are asking, that's why I'm talking, that's all. So these things you have to be clear about it. So asking Advaita at Advaita level, asking Dvaita at Advaita level, this is what the problem comes. It's a philosophical pun, I wish to say. It's a philosophical pun, of course. ঠিক আছে, অনেক হয়ে গেছে আজকে।
আচ্ছা, তাহলে আপনার ছুটি কবে শেষ হচ্ছে? আমরা আবার আপনার সঙ্গে ক্লাস কবে পাচ্ছি?
ডিসেম্বর হয়ে গেল, জানুয়ারিতে, জানুয়ারি 1st। ঠিক আছে, জানুয়ারি 8 থাকুক।
আচ্ছা, সেদিনকে নেক্সট লেকচারটা হবে?
আপনারা কি চান, আপনারা কি চান এটাই করব। ঠিক আছে, আপনারা চর্চা করে আমাকে বলে দিন 1-2 দিনের আগে কি চান আপনারা, বলে এটা করব। কমপ্লিট ওয়ার্কস করতে চাইলে ওটা করবো, নাহলে এটা কি গ্রেট মাস্টারের কিছু আপনার প্রশ্ন আছে এটা জিজ্ঞাসা চাইতে, মানে জানতে চাইলে ওটা ডিসকাস করব। না, আপনাদের মধ্যে ডিসকাস করে আমাকে বলে দিন।
এতখানি শুধু মানে শুধুই সমাধি নিয়ে এতটা হলে কতটা সবাই কি নিতে পারবে সেটা একটা ডাউট আছে। তো সেই জন্য একটুখানি ভাগাভাগি করে নিলে ভালো হয় আর কি।
ঠিক আছে, সেই জন্য ঠিক আছে, কমপ্লিট ওয়ার্কস চলবে, তাহলে চলবে তা নাকি?
হ্যাঁ, মানে কমপ্লিট ওয়ার্কস এর পরে এরকম ডিসকাশন কি আরো কিছু কোয়েশ্চেন্স থাকলে, কারণ এই কনসেপ্টগুলো এত শক্ত, সেগুলো মোটেই একবারে শুনে তো কিছুই বোঝা যাবে না, মাথায় ঢুকবে না।
মানে এটা গ্রেট মাস্টারের কথা বলছেন?
হ্যাঁ, মানে এই যে সমাধির ব্যাপারগুলো এগুলো তো যথেষ্ট
ডিফারেন্ট। দিস ইজ আ গ্রাজুয়াল প্রসেস, স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ ইউ হ্যাভ টু গো। ইয়েস ইয়েস ইয়েস, ঠিক আছে। দ্যাটস ওয়্যার মালিকা দি তো হোমওয়ার্ক করে আসেন আমার ক্লাসে যখন আসেন এসব মানে লীলা প্রসঙ্গের সময়।
হ্যাঁ, আপনাদের 50 মিনিটসের ক্লাসে 1 আওয়ার কোয়েশ্চেন অ্যান্সার সেশন হয়, আমি জানি, কিন্তু সেই কোয়েশ্চেন অ্যান্সার সেশনটা আমরা পাই না, এটাই মুশকিল।
সব সময় 1 ঘন্টা হয় না, কখনো কখনো হয়, সব সময় 1 ঘন্টা হয় না।
আজকে আমাদেরও হয়েছে,
হ্যাঁ
আজকে আমাদেরও হয়েছে 1 ঘন্টা।
হ্যাঁ হয়েছে, সব সময় ওদেরও হয় না, কখনো কখনো হয়। আর আপনারা তাকে
আপনি তৎপদমে আবার গীতা শুরু করবেন?
তৎপদমে? আচ্ছা, ওরা না গীতা মানে গীতা চ্যান্টিং আর এমনি হালকা করে, আই উইল নট গোইং টু ডিপ ইট, সারফেস লেভেল, জাস্ট এ মিনিমাম ডিসকাশন, মিনিমাম talk. They are discussing, they are asking, they have asked 2 things. One is either Gita chanting with a simple meaning, or Chandi. Chandi is what Durga there is selection from Chandi. Only the 4 chapters, selections from 4 chapters. If you do, it is considered Shardamati is well done, and South India also it is practiced. So আমি এটা ওদেরকে শিখিয়েছিলাম এখানে ওদেরকে, সেই জন্য ওরা বলছিল ওটার অর্থ একটু বলবেন না, কি বলে। দুটোই দিয়েছি, হ্যাঁ, দুটোর মধ্যে একটা করব বলে বলেছি আমি। ওরা এখনো ফিরতে হবে, they have to confirm me, they have to confirm.
But they have declared it as a Gita class.
Is it okay? Yeah, some message came, I think this is what message they have sent is something. Let us see, anything is okay for me, no problem. You want Gita, we'll go for Gita. You want that the Chandi selections from Chandi, that you want, that also okay. Anything is okay.
মহারাজ, আরেকটা ব্যাপার আছে, আপনি ওই মুন্ডকের ওই উপনিষদের ক্লাসে কঠোর উপনিষদটা পড়ান না প্লিজ।
না, সেই দেখুন, আমার বলার কিছু নেই, আপনাদের মধ্যে গ্রুপের মধ্যে ডিসকাস করুন, ডিসকাস করে আপনারা ঠিক
গ্রুপ ওরা যা ঠিক করবে তাই, কিন্তু আপনি বললে তো
ওরা ঠিক করবে এরকম নাই। আপনাদের যা লাগে, আপনাদের মেইন কনসেনসাস নিয়ে ওরা করবে, তো আপনাদের যে আছে তো ডিসকাস করবেন, তো আপনাদের যে মানে ফিলিং আছে, নোশন আছে, বলবেন তো এটার পরে এটা হলে ভালো, আমরা এটা চাই, যদি হয় একটা আপনি করতে পারবেন নাকি, এটা বলে আপনার ওপিনিয়ন তো দিতে পারবেন। এটা ডেমোক্রেটিক, ওটা নাই আমাদের ক্লাস আমরা যা করব, আপনারা শুনতে ইচ্ছা থাকলে শুনুন, না হলে চলে যান, এরকম নাই তো। And he also told very clearly, we will have a consensus for the group and we'll come back. So give your opinion. Even yesterday, one devotee called and said, Maharaj, you do this, you do that. I said, why are you wasting my time and your time, and don't talk with me? Put it in the group. Discuss with the people. In the group, you discuss and you come with that. She wanted Dakshinamurti Stotra. I said, you discuss in the group and let me know. Then I will talk. And then I will take up. আপনাদের যাদের ইচ্ছা আছে, কেউ প্রশ্নোপনিষদ বললো, কেউ দক্ষিণামূর্তি স্তোত্র বলছে, কেউ মান্ডুক্য বলছে, কেউ দক্ষিণ কঠোপনিষদ বলছে, সব ওখানে ডিসকাস করুন। আপনাদের যা ইচ্ছা আছে ওটা আপনি তো বলতে পারবেন, হ্যাঁ ওটা হোক না হোক ওটা ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু you have got all the right and you have got all the freedom to express your opinion, your feelings. You express it. It may happen, it may not happen. Some good thoughts will be happen, if not now, tomorrow, if not day after tomorrow. What is
Pranam Maharaj. Thank you.
now the beshi ho jaye.
Pranam Maharaj.
Pranam Maharaj.
Pranam Maharaj.